Okay, there I am. Hello and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning in tonight. And I can see, based on the chat room, that you guys have figured out the secret. Come early, get your reading early. And Dawn has the #1 spot after I do my little topic. So tonight, I'm going to be talking about procrastination. Procrastination. Procrastination, you're making me wait. You keep making me waiting. Procrastination. So the definition of procrastination is the act of voluntarily postponing or delaying something or waiting until the last minute to get the thing done. Now, if you think about it, we all procrastinate one thing or another. I know for me, like before I formed this workout, doing my taxes, how long could I procrastinate that? Because I just hated it. But to me, procrastination is kind of a hard topic because in the big picture of things, I'm really not a procrastinator at all. But people that do procrastinate, when they should be spending time doing something, they end up watching TV or surfing Facebook and finding other things to fill their time instead of doing those things that they want or need to do. And when they don't do it, it can have a serious impact on their lives. So they think about it, they think that they should do something, but they don't feel inspired or they don't feel motivated. But for those people, the right time and the right day never actually comes along. And so Kendra Cherry, if I can get the screen up, says that there are different styles of procrastinating, and they include the perfectionist, who puts off tasks out of the fear of not being able to complete a task perfectly, the dreamer, who puts off tasks because they're not good at paying attention to detail, the defier, who doesn't believe someone should dictate their time schedule, the worrier, puts off tasks out of the fear of change or leaving the comfort of the known, the crisis maker will put off tasks because they like working under pressure, or the overdoer, who takes on too much and struggles with finding time to start and complete tasks. So if you're a procrastinator, do any of those sound familiar to you? But there are a number of reasons why people tend to procrastinate. One of the biggest ones is they don't know what needs to be done or how to do it. They might not, they might lack initiative to get things started. And so once they get started, they can keep moving forward, but it's that initial impetus to start that keeps them from getting anything done. But there are some very serious consequences to procrastinating. One, the task never gets down, and if it's one of the tasks is paying your bills, then your bills will come in late, then you get the interest charges, blah blah blah. But it also beats up on ourselves. It creates so much stress in our body that it makes it really hard it's just hard on the body. I mean, I have a number of clients who are professional procrastinators, really professional procrastinators. And okay, so I'm going to just spill the beans. So I have one client who was talking to me about painting this room. And I was like, okay, because half the room was painted. It was already halfway painted. I'm like, so why don't you just finish it? And it's like, well, I'll get to it one day. And then I asked, well, how long has it been like that? And she said 5 years. I just can't even imagine, because her house was in a disarray because she was painting the other half of the room, but never got around to painting the other half of the room. Um, but if you find that you are a procrastinating kind of person, there are a number of things that you can do. One very simple thing is to make a to-do list. These are the things that need to get done. And as you do them, you can start checking them off. And there's not anything that feels better than you do a task and you mark that off. Um, and as you're doing them, you can see progress, you can see forward movement happening, which always makes us feel better. If you're one of the people that have a hard time getting started because you're really not sure what to do, many times there's a project that needs to be done, but the project is big. And so it seems really overwhelming and you don't know where to start, or you're afraid to start. Well, maybe take that project and break it down into smaller chunks. So today I'm going to do this. And then tomorrow I'm going to do this. And make it small, accomplishable goals so that you can move forward. Even making a phone call toward a goal that you want to achieve is forward progress. If you have a lot of boxes that need to be emptied, emptying one box. If you want to clean up your kitchen and the drawers are just loaded with junk, like that kitchen drawer, just doing one drawer at a time, just one a day is forward momentum. And it might take longer than just really digging in and doing all of them at once, but at least over time, the project is going to get done and you'll feel so much better. Also, it's probably a good idea to pay attention to the voice, um, to that voice that's in your head. Many times, if you procrastinate, there's this voice, there's your inner critic that your higher self says, hey, maybe you should work on painting that wall. And then your procrastinator self says, well, I'm not really feeling it, blah, blah, blah. And then another voice will jump in and go, you're so lazy. You're never going to get it done. And so you're dealing with all of this stuff going on the inside. So maybe spending some time paying attention to what's going on inside will help you to separate out what you really want to do from all of this other commentary that is either keeping you from moving forward or is beating you up for not doing it. Because that voice that wants to beat you up will sit there and sit there and sit there and remind you over and over how you're a failure and how you're never going to get anything done until you get the thing done. And so if you don't like that voice inside of your head, then maybe it's time to just go and do it so you can be done with it and get the stress reduction and relief of having that go away. Because really, to me, that's the most annoying of them all. And again, doing just a little bit at a time. It will make things happen. You are constantly moving forward in what's going on. There's a lot of times where something happens and we just don't really want to deal with it. And if there are consequences tied to it, it's like we end up kind of going into this victim mode place where we end up feeling helpless and useless. But if you take steps to move out of that, to take action into resolving the issue, you're taking your power back. Again, making a phone call, picking the kitchen towel up off of the kitchen floor, washing your dishes, just anything to move you forward into the goal that you want to achieve. I am going to guess that learning to not procrastinate is a learned skill. Like I said, there are some things that I procrastinate about, but I really am not. I'm a very goal oriented person. And every day I sit there and go, okay, what's on the agenda for today? And I do those tasks. And then I have chill time, or I might move on to a different task. Um, but in any case, regardless of what you do, at the end of it, congratulate yourself. So if the goal is to empty out one drawer, if the goal is to make that phone call, if the goal is to mow the yard, when you're done, congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, say I did a good job, and it's done. And all of that inner voice stuff, that inner critic that usually, torments you, will go away. It takes a lot of energy to keep that voice at bay. So when you're not procrastinating, you're going to feel better every day. Oh, and recently we've been talking about narcissists and empaths and that whole thing. And I'm going to throw in a little narcissistic tip. So narcissists many times will come off as being procrastinators. They will just not do stuff. Not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them. Or they seem like they procrastinate. How's that? They seem like they procrastinate, or they'll come up with excuses about why they're not doing something, which adds to your belief that they're procrastinating. But the reality is they just don't want to do it. And instead of saying to you, I don't want to do it, they just procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate until you finally do it yourself because you're tired of waiting. Anyway, that's the topic for today. So if you find that you're a procrastinator, give yourself a project, one little project a day, one little project a week, and you will be amazed at how fast you will move through stuff and feel so much better and so much more gratified on the inside. Okay. Move that over there. See, and I got my camo on because I'm encouraging you. All right, it's my Brad Paisley camo to move forward with things. Okay, so before I say hi and see everybody's like, I want a reading. Don't forget, we do very general readings here during this broadcast. So if there's something that I talk about, or if you need deeper insights into what's going on in your life, whether it's a health issue, a relationship challenge, a problem at work, an entity issue, I don't really care, just no dead people. Please go to my website, soulhealer.com, reach out to me and schedule a private consultation. That's soulhealer.com. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, which will keep you informed of the show. So every Thursday morning, you'll get a reminder that there's a live happening today. In the description, it has my different channels. Facebook, please sign up for my group, Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Just Energy Radio. There's a link for my BitChute channel, my Rumble channel, and my Twitter channel, all of which this broadcast goes out to. So please do sign up for it or follow me or whatever the right word is. Okay. And see, I've been procrastinating this, but I finally did it. Okay, so let me pull these over here. So I have been showing you my new book, Dang, It Was Me All Along, and The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist. And I've also presented Avoiding the Cosmic 2x4, but there's also Dark Angels, an Insider's Guide to Ghosts, Spirits, and Attached Entities. Man-Made, The Chronicles of Our Extraterrestrial Gods, unless you go on Amazon, where the book is listed as E.T. Chronicles, What Myth and Legends Have to Say About Human Origins. But this one has spelling mistakes in it, which makes it better. Or Stepping Out of Eden, which is kind of the follow-up book to the Man-Made book. So see, got them all. My own little library, covering up my entire kitchen table, but that's all okay. And all of those books are available on Amazon. They're also available on my website. I do charge shipping, but you get your book autographed if you buy it directly from me. And that's priceless. So don't forget, soulhealer.com is where you can find my books. You can sign up for a consultation. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can do everything. And actually, you could also get my free guide for becoming a energy medicine practitioner, intuitive counselor, or certified medical intuitive. And you can download under the training tab my free 50-page download called Jumpstart Your Intuition, which will help guide you to beginning to tap into your spiritual gifts. Okay. Soulhealer.com. All right, so I'm gonna say hi to everybody, and then I'll start doing readings. And Don is number one. Don is number one. Oh, and he wants a number one reading too. Okay. All right. So, hi, Don. You're number one. And Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Yvonne's here. Hi, Yvonne. Miss Wendy. Hi, Miss Wendy. RLCC. Hey, RLCC. Terrence. Hey, Terrence. Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, if you have a web page for your business, like something easy that I can share, will you post that below? Hi, Christina. Nice to have you back. And Miss Debbie. And Debbie, me too. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with Don. And he wants a number one, but let me clear these cards first. And we will get to it. Hang on one second. All right, now hopefully I won't blow this up. Okay. Bam. See, Deb, filters work. How do you turn 20 years younger? You put the filter on. Okay. All right, Don, I'm shuffling for you right now. All right, so that was your card. And let's see, Don. Okay, so Don, we're going to preface this with this comment. Raylan is saying hi. Hey, Raylan. Hey. Come on, right here. When I do these readings, I'm reading what's going on in this moment, not necessarily what was going on last week or this week, unless I make a comment that way. But Don, I'm feeling I don't know if you're feeling like you're under pressure, but I'm feeling like there's this energy of go, 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 and do, and the bigger picture is you not really being able to relax, so I don't know if that's something you're doing physically where there's just a lot of physical activity and exertion, or you have just been mentally going over things, but I'm feeling like it's not really helping you. So maybe taking a step back, doing some breathing, some tapping, some of the mindfulness things we've talked about on the show, I think will help make you feel more centered and more whole in what's going on in your life. Okay. All right. My mouse is just not cooperating. All right. So Cindy says, me please 3. Okay, Cindy, you 3. Hey. Hey. He is so mean. So mean. All right, Cindy, so this is your card for today. Okay, interesting. So, Cindy, I'm wondering if we're going to have a theme show again today. When I look at your energy, you're not seeming real grounded. I get the impression that when you ask for something, try to figure something out, kind of connect, that information usually flows through you pretty quickly and effortlessly. But I feel like right now, like you're just kind of walking around going, I don't really know and I don't really understand. And, um, everything just seems kind of nimbus, if that makes sense. Um, I mean, obviously, this is a phase. And it's interesting because I was going to see if my commentary to Dawn would help you, as far as like doing something to ground, bring your attention back into the present moment. And obviously, it's always good to work with those kind of tools. Um, okay, I'm going to keep going here. I feel like there's something that you're trying to figure out, but it hasn't come through yet. And I would like to suggest that you back off. I feel like there's too much effort behind, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know, versus, okay, well, this is what I need to know, and kind of letting it go and letting it come to you. So I'm going to give you an example because this just happened this week and it kind of fits in line with what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I've talked about, I'm working on that project house, and so the bathtub was not draining. So the only place I have water in the house other than a spigot outside is in the bathtub. And the bathtub was not draining. And so if I like fill the bucket up with water and let it run in the tub a little bit, the tub was filling up and it would like take till the next day for it to all be drained out. And I really didn't want to call the plumber because I already haven't paid him yet for the plumbing work that he did replumbing the house. And I was like, and I didn't want him to get on my case about, oh, you already stopped up the tub, you only had like plumbing for 2 months and you already broke it. And so I was kind of stressing about that quite a bit, and so finally asked, well, is there anything that I can do? I mean, I took this little like snake thing, plastic snake thing, because there's a drain cap on the tub that I couldn't take off. I tried putting that in there, that didn't do anything. And I get this picture of the plunger. Now, and in the house that I'm working on, they left a plunger. I don't know why. There was a plunger, and I'm like, okay. So I had to turn the water on Monday because I needed to like wash my hands off or something. But I turned the water off, so now there's like a little puddle of water in there, and I'm like, do the plunger. Ah, my water drains. So sometimes you have to ask it and then let it go and take the effort off of it, take the fear off of it, because the answer will come to you, and just let it come to you. Okay, Cindy? Well, that was a pretty good one. Let me know. All of you guys, when I do a reading for you, I always love feedback. So please, any feedback would be great. Okay, so Yvonne wants a reading and she wants number 3, please. All right, Yvonne, let's see what the cards have for you for today. Ooh. Okay, so this is your card. Interesting. So Yvonne, I just like, sense the energy, and I just sense like this grief or loss around you. I feel like there is some confusion, like it didn't need to be this way. Or why did it have to be this way? Some sadness. I mean, I feel like you're going to be fine through this whole thing. And I guess what makes it, I mean, because I'm feeling like it's more a tertiary thing, but that it was just so sudden or just kind of came out of left field that it was more surprising than anything else. Um, but it's okay. I mean, you know, stuff happens and you have to just kind of keep moving forward and move through it. So, not really sure what else to say about that. Um, Let me know if I'm hitting on that because that's kind of unusual for you. Okay. So RLCC says, "Hello, Dr. Rita. Hope you're doing well. Would like a reading and the hair is looking good." Thank you, RLCC. See, you're going to be my new favorite, especially since Marco is late again today and you said it first. Okay, so RLCC, I'm going to clear these cards and then I'm going to do a number one shuffle for you. Since you didn't give me a number. All right, here's your shuffle. Okay. All right, so that's your card. So RLCC, I feel like there's some discontent in your space. I feel like, and I'm going to say this in kind of a generic way, the world, the three-dimensional present world, seems dissatisfying to you. Hang on, need to turn the ringer off. Oopsie. And so I feel like you've been kind of up in your imagination these days. I feel like you're trying to figure out what you can do and what you can change. I mean, I feel like it's really not a bad place because I don't get the impression that you hang out here all the time. I feel like this is kind of like your problem solving space because you can take ideas and move them around and shift them and do this and do that and come up with a solution. So I'm guessing that there's a problem going on that you're trying to resolve. And that's okay. That's okay. Okay. All right, so Yvonne says, I have a little of each, not quite sure, because that was pretty early. Veronica says, hi. Hi, Veronica. Jennifer says, and if I took my cursor off, I could read it. Enjoyed the article you shared about the lizard people. Thank you. And actually, I will be speaking at the UFO conference in spooky Jefferson, Texas in August. And so my topic is going to be the reptilians. It's my favorite conspiracy theory. And how the concept there is support of, these lizards living in underground bases is supported by myth. Okay. And you guys are like on it today. So Christine said she would like a reading number 2. Number 2. See, Deb, I'm channeling my inner Tanya. Number 2. And if I sold stuff, I'd have to go in a basket because she does that all the time. Okay. Christine, here's your card. So Christine, I get the impression that you've just like started on a new project and there's a piece of you that's feeling like there is a certain amount of overwhelm tied to it, like not that you don't have momentum. Well, you haven't really started yet, but you're like looking at this thing that you're going to do or create. But I feel like there's a lot of excitement around it. And I feel like you're in a place where you're kind of sorting through stuff, trying to figure out what's the first step. Because I get the impression you're not a procrastinator. And then just work through this whole thing. I do feel like it's going to be very successful. And I appreciate that you're kind of thinking things through. And I feel like once things start moving forward, everything will keep moving forward in a really good and easy way for you. So good job. All right. So Veronica says, love a reading. Okay, but you didn't give me a number. So I am going to do a number 1. But I'm going to clear these first. And then Veronica wanted to know, where's Marco? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't gotten, I mean, RLCC got the first like good hair comment in. So, and anyway, I thought you were Marco's keeper. All right, Veronica. Bam, that's your card. Really good card. You know, what's with all these like happy thoughts that you're having? You know, it's interesting because I feel like one of the things that has come into your awareness is this path of moving forward, of this path to reconnecting to yourself. I feel like, you know, where there was ignorance or blindness before in a metaphorical way, it's like you can see clearly now. The rain is gone, literally. But this is really great. I feel like you've been like listening and following guidance and kind of getting out of your head and into your heart. So keep up the great work, Veronica. Deb filters. I know, but don't I look great? All right, so hi, Belinda. I don't think I said hi before, so hi. And let's see what we've got for you. And we're going to do a 3 for you. So for anybody that is new in listening, if you want a reading, pick a number from 1 to 3, and that is the number of times I will shuffle. Okay, so this ought to be interesting because the dog just ran after the cat, which usually means that there's going to be like some weird thing going on. Okay, so Belinda, this is your card. And okay, Belinda, this is kind of really interesting. So the first thing that I got from you was this kind of like nauseated stomach, you know, so I'm kind of glad that I burped, but I don't think that was my burp. I feel like it was your kind of nauseated stomach. I don't know. I just get the impression that you're kind of in a situation or surrounded by people, situations that really don't vibe with you and kind of shut your energy down and keep you from being who you want or need to be. And I just get the impression that you are more in a, it needs to have a good vibe and it needs to have a good feeling. And so it's just been uncomfortable. And so, okay. And they wanted me to share with you that you're appreciating that I'm putting words to that because you've been feeling it and you've been noticing it and you've been sensing it, but not really understanding what's going on. And it's because you're not vibing with them. They're not your people. Or at least not at this point in time. And that's okay. You know, if it's something that you can kind of back your energy out of, great. If it's a work-related situation, then maybe take the emphasis off of wanting stuff from them, you know, and just like go and do your thing and then leave. You know, I think the most important thing is do what you need to do to protect your energy. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 is like kumbaya, really great, and 10 is places that I've worked that were like hell. Um, I'll give you, I mean, kind of depending on the day, it's like between a 4 and 6, and like some days are okay, other days are more challenging. It's kind of a pain in the butt, not the worst thing, but I just feel like you're just becoming more sensitive to the kind of level of toxicity that's in there, and you're just not digging it. Okay, let me know what feedback on that one. Okay, let's see. So Cindy says, hi, Raylan. And Yvonne wanted to know about Marco too. He'll show. All right. Dawn says, thank you, Dr. Rita. There he is, Marco. But RLCC beat you to the punch. Marco, you need to get here earlier. And everybody was wondering where you were, so I'm glad that you're here. All right, let's see. Cindy says, definitely resonates. Thank you so very much. You're so very welcome. And again, everyone, if something comes up in a reading, that resonates with you, but you want to get more information about, if there's other things going on in your life that you would like to get more information about, drop me a line. We'll set up a time for a reading. All right. Okay. Hey, Pat, I'm glad to see you here. Okay, Pat wants a reading number 2. I did a reading for Pat the other day. It must have been okay because she's back. All right, Pat, let's see what you got. All right, so that's your card. Wow, Pat, and I'm just going to say it this way. I mean, your energy seems really wired up. When I look at you, it's like your auric field is kind of vibrating. So anything that you can do to ground your body, by creating a grounding cord, by going for a walk, something to discharge the negative, the whatever energy that doesn't belong to you, so you can come back into present time, would be great. So they're telling me to say, they're all a bunch of idiots. So there, I said it out loud for you. But bottom line, what's going on has nothing to do with you, and there's not any way you can control it. And even though it's upsetting to you, which I get, it's not your problem to fix. And so on some levels, maybe you could let it go. Okay? All right. All right, so Yvonne says, yes, a lot of right turns, detours, grievances, more stuff, sitting with not knowing exactly what to do next. Yvonne, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that kind of seems like a bit of the energy that's going on right now. Like little sweet me, have just been kind of freaking cranky lately. And finally it passed like yesterday afternoon. Thank God, because I wasn't even liking myself. But just in this very uncertain, like, not depressed, but kind of depressed place of like, and actually our Deb and I were just talking about, she made a comment about she didn't want to be reincarnated back onto this planet. And my comment back was, I haven't quite figured out why I came here in the first place. I'm sure there's some grand reason, but and this period, this phase that we're in right now, has just been emotionally challenging, in a really kind of hard to put words on it way. Yeah, I hope that helps. All right, so let's see. I'm assuming this is a spammer. I love these people. But Penny, maybe you need to get a reading. Yeah, let's do. I'm going to do a reading for Penny, our spammer. Maybe she's actually there. There's only one that I've seen so far, so maybe that would be good. Okay, so Penny, this is your card. So Penny, the first thing that I'm seeing with you is this level of insecurity that you have. It's like you want to be the teacher, you want to be this person of wisdom, but you're hiding behind a mask of insecurity. And a giant layer of ego. I feel like you think you know what you know, but I feel like it's really not that much. But you want people to think you're like the grand poobah, but I'm not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Okay, so not that any of you would, but don't get a reading from Penny because she's not very good. She's full of shit. You know what? Okay, so we're going to take a vote. So if I get these like spammer people, should I do a reading? Because actually that was kind of fun. So let me know, yay or nay, if I should like continue that behavior on the cast. Okay. All right. Marco, I'm just, you and Veronica, I'm not reading your stuff. Okay. RLC said, thank you. Okay. But did it resonate with you? Veronica says, I might go to the UFO festival. Veronica, I'll be there. Wouldn't that be cool? And then Susan Hill, get out of there. Susan Hill says, girl, we need to talk about the lizard people. You know, they're my favorite conspiracy theory. But the lizard people, and actually, another poll, if you would like for me to do a presentation on the lizard people, let me know, because there really is a lot of evidence in myth to support them. Or I could play my video, which would be easier for me. Anyway, but no, that would be fun. Okay, so Belinda would like a reading. And she says, anything, please. Okay, let me clear these, and then we'll go with that, whatever it ends up being. Gotta love cats. Okay, we got a duplicate card here. We just had this one come up, but it's back again. Belinda. Belinda, I just get the impression that you have a lot going on in your life right now, that things just seem like they're just moving way too fast for you. I mean, what I want to say, you know, they're going to calm back down. So what they're telling me is you would rather them go really fast, because if you had to sit there and focus on each of these things that are like kind of rolling by you, it would make you crazy. And so this way you really can't put a whole lot of time and attention on them. And so you're getting it done and moving through it, as opposed to kind of obsessing and not ruminating, but obsessing on all of these different things. You know, so I don't know if you can be a bit of a perfectionist. But it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I don't feel like this is going to be forever. I feel like, you know, I feel like the universe just kind of like opened up the door and said, here, you know, deal with all this stuff. But I feel like all of this stuff is really not stuff you wanted to deal with. And so the faster you can get it done, because you're not going to procrastinate it, because that would defeat the purpose of the universe dumping it on you, the better it's going to be. And it will, I mean, I get the feeling that this is going to go on for like 2 to 3 weeks. So just a heads up that, you know, put your seatbelt on and just go with the flow and do the best that you can to work your way through this. Yeah. Okay. Any commentary? If it resonates with you, I would love to get some feedback. So Christine says, thank you. I feel something exciting coming. Yay. I do too. And I feel like once you kind of get past the initial piece, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay. So I'm not sure what that is. So, hey, Joe, late but here. All right, so I'm missing something. Okay, so I just did the reading for Belinda, but then it said I left. And then it says, did 2 days ago. I feel like I'm missing a piece of this conversation. Start a new one on the 11th. Okay. Hey, Chris and Jerry. We just moved in Dallas and never been to Dealey Plaza. There was so much morbid feeling. And the day before in meditation, I saw the manhole cover. So, Chris, you know what was interesting? The first time I went to Dealey Plaza, I like walked all around it and I'm like feeling the energy. And I was like, wow, the energy is really strong here. But I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. And that the JFK Memorial, where they got that eternal flame burning, that's where it was the heaviest. And yeah, there's just so much sad energy there about the whole thing and people coming there and being sad. It was just really interesting. A very strong energy, a very strong energy. You know, so if anybody does come to Dallas and goes to Dealey Plaza, that's the place where Kennedy was assassinated like just before the on-ramp to the highway. Walk around that area. There used to be the Conspiracy Museum, which I actually did go to, and the guy did a tour and would talk about, you know, like the magic bullet and the grassy knoll, and it was actually pretty cool, but they're not there anymore. But use your little psychic antenna to walk around that area because I think you would find it really interesting. Really interesting. Veronica said, not sure how to interpret that reading. And then Yvonne says, I'm not depressed. And Yvonne, I didn't say that you were depressed, just apathetic over things being so wonky. Thanks, Rita. I appreciate your input. Yeah, and wonky is a good word. You know, I don't see it as depressed, but it's more like, really? Really? Love Penny's reading. Okay. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you coming in late. Better late than never. So I guess Deb liked reading the spammer. Yvonne said, yes, lizard people presentation. Okay. Eva says, sounds interesting. What did I miss? Not much. Amos777. Good day, Dr. Rita. Hi, Amos. Okay. Eva says, can I please have a reading, dear? Thank you so much. Okay, so, and this goes to Yvonne, I think. Amos said, most of the world is having a worse time than us. You know, and I will agree, you know, and I've talked about it a lot on this show where there's just like a planetary vibe that goes on. And I just feel like people don't know what to do, you know, and there's all of this control happening by these other people. Okay, you know, and I try not to get political, although I can be very political, you know, but I was hearing on this one show the other day that in Europe, they are talking about re-enabling the draft and getting young men into the military because they are figuring or expecting for a war to break out with Russia because of Ukraine. You know, that just doesn't leave you with a good feeling. And whether you believe it or not, or if that's happening, I mean, that's in Europe, that's not happening here, but it's still affecting all of us because it's a planetary vibe. Okay, sorry, Eva. All right, so this is going to be your shuffle right here. All right, yay, different card. Eva, that's your card. Okay, so Eva, my feeling is that it would be really good for you to go find something to do that's fun for you. I get the impression that you feel really constrained right now, like almost a prisoner in your own home. Um, and the phrase that's coming up is that there's not permission. Um, so I don't know if there's not permission because you don't think you can do it financially, if there's not permission because someone is making it so that there's not permission. I don't really understand what the parameter is, but I feel like right now it's important for you to have you time. This is what I want to do. Even if what I want to do is to go to Starbucks and get a coffee, or if what I want to do is to go to the mall and just go walk around. But I'm feeling like there's a part of you that wants or needs to express you versus expressing everybody else and taking care of all of their needs and their wants. So do you? Okay, let me know. Does that make sense for you? All right. So I guess Donnie G would like a reading. So Veronica wanted to know when the date is in Jefferson, and it is, hang on a second, I think it's August 18th. June, July, August 17th. It's August 17th in Jefferson. Okay. And Danny, let's see what's coming up for you. Ooh, we're getting a lot of duplicate cards, Sam. I mix these good. All right, that's your card. Okay, Danny. So, Danny, have you been feeling kind of depressed lately? I just sense this kind of morbidness around you. But then when I kind of move out of that, I don't get like, you're like, woo, big energy and running around and being sparkly all the time. But I feel like even for you, this has an even kind of downer quality to it. And it's interesting because this came up before, but I feel like there's this kind of trapped thing happening for you as well. I mean, we really are kind of like hitting a pattern here, where you're just tired of it and you want to change it, but you don't really know how. And I guess my commentary for you in this moment is to just start putting your attention on it, to start noticing it, to start feeling into it, to start asking it, what does it want from you? I feel like that's something you haven't really ever done. And that would be a good starting point to having this energy kind of unwind inside of you. Okay, let me know if that resonates with you. All right. All right. So we have John Candy. Hi, John Candy. Hi, Dr. Rita. Is it possible to discuss what's going on with the energies right now? So much talk about solar flares and such. So I really don't pay attention to solar flares because I don't. But the energy. Okay. Oh, and a thumbs up for reading the spammers. Okay, so that's a 2 for that. I mean, the biggest thing that I keep feeling, and I really don't like getting political, but it has politics written all over it, is that people don't feel like they have choices, that we are being told what we're supposed to do, and no control over what's going on. And even though we might be expressing what we want and where we want to go, nobody's listening. There's this agenda going on that, either you're a sheeple and you're just going along with whatever they're saying, or you're saying, well, I don't want to do that, but you're really not being given a choice. And I don't think people are liking not having a choice. But with where things are going, it's hard to get out of this predicament. You can let it ride for so long and have it be okay, but I think people are tired of having it riding so long and having so much taken away. And stop it. Sorry, there's a mosquito in here, and mosquitoes really like me. And they don't like the choice that's being presented to them. And they would really like for it to be a different way. And they would really like to have some kind of alternative, but it's just not seeming that way. And I don't really have an answer at this point in time. I do know that it's a little scary to me, what's going on. And I think people are, feeling that and sensing that in the energy that's going on, and it's just not just the United States. I mean, it's everywhere, that it's just really kind of crazy. So Eva says, true about military in Europe. And then Veronica says, Biden is doing the draft according to Cat Turd. Really, I hadn't heard that. And then Atmos says, yes, I reckon so. And then Justin Hill says, expecting Russia and Ukraine are already at war. No, but Justin, it's not that they're at war, but it's going to draw in NATO into the war. Okay, I'm just going to go here, because the United States said that Ukraine could use U.S. weapons to shoot into Russia, which they weren't allowed to do before. So that just kind of like throws the United States into the middle of this whole thing. But no, the other parts of Europe are kind of gearing up for this whole thing, to get involved in whatever they're planning, their nefarious plans that we have absolutely no control over, that we don't want to participate in. That we're just going to get sucked into. And that's just one of the things that is going on that I think people are having a hard time with. Okay. So Marco says, I have known Rita for like 14 years. She has never given me a ready. And I'll never give you a ready there, Marco. And he said, reading. And then Eva says, yes, you're so right on, Rita. Oh my God. Yes, you are absolutely 100%. You are awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Rita. Well, you're so very welcome, Eva. And Eva, come back. We're here. I'm here every week. We all have fun. It is fun. I have fun. Oh, shoot. My time's up. All right. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of... All right, we got a bunch of political stuff going on, which I'm not going to read because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. Oh, all right, John, I'm going to respond to this. It's interesting because there's so many people working on themselves and being more true to themselves, and that also brings about a more positive energy. John, and I cannot agree with you more for that. There have been so many people that have been working on becoming authentic. They have been working on cultivating their inner world. It's what my book, Dang, It Was Me All Along, is all about. And it has been remarkable, just staying congruent with themselves. But we're human beings and we still pick up this energy, and I totally agree with you. So it just is weird. It's like, okay, I'm trying to be congruent and I'm trying to be in my own energy. And then this stuff is going on that I have no control over, and all I can do is like breathe through it. But I can't breathe through going to the supermarket. and stuff like that. So sorry, this is just kind of quick. Ironic says, thanks, Dr. Rita. It's been great as always. All right. So the time is up. All right. So again, if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, go to my website, soulhealer.com, and reach out to me via email. I mean, we don't have to talk about what we discussed in your reading, but it could be about anything that you would like my guidance and insights. You can also find my book, Dang, It Was Me All Along, The Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist, Avoiding the Cosmic 2x4, Dark Angels, An Insider's Guide to Ghost Spirits and Attached Entities, Man-Made, What Myth and Legends, or the Man-Made, The Chronicles of Our Extraterrestrial Gods, or Stepping Out of Eden. There's also a bunch of videos you can watch, and there's just good stuff, tons of articles. Anyway, so till next week, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This was Thursday Night Live. Till next time, be blessed.